And, well, generally you really would want to get this thing about a fourth. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, now, just making sure the rim is on straight. The rim does not, in fact, look straight to me. That means one thing. And go down and push it down as we go. So, loosen it up. So I'm going to push it down on both sides here. I'm going to step down on the front of the seat. It's stable. And time to start tightening. Whew. Okay. That is the tire on. Now, the other part, getting the brake pad back on. Now, on older bikes, you have, oh wow, this brake pad's really worn. You're gonna have instances where you don't know where the pad goes. You want to take it to another pad. Now, if you really can't see these marks, normally that means it's time to replace them. However, I can't really get these pads because this is an old bike. However, it really doesn't entirely matter. Oh, well, that's fun. The bike shop replaced the front pads, but not the rears. Ain't that fun? Normally, you want your pad to be having the arrows go backwards. If they're highly worn, that's what you want to do. When they're brand new, you want the arrows facing where the tire's going to rotate. Or where the bike's going to be rotating in our case. So the bike's going to be going forwards, so you want your arrows pointing forwards. This pad is highly worn, so our bike is going to be going forwards. We want the pads to face backwards. Now I'm looking at it at another, oh, here you can see how this is like tilted. You want the bottom end to have more rubber when they're highly worn. That way it gives you more power, or braking power I should say. Yeah, now I'm just going to put that on. Now you want the washers to be on the side where the nut goes and not on the brake when it's put on. Also, be very mindful of where you put the pad. You want it to be almost pretty much centered with the rim and not touching the rubber and not like off with the rim either. That's not a fun time. Especially when you need your brakes the most. In my case, I just found it. Now you want to push your brake up against the rim and center it that way. There will be some cases where that is not the case. Bike shops may do it different. Want to get it about as tight as you can. Most obviously without stripping it, but if it starts to turn, when you tighten it and the brake pad starts to turn or rotate, that's when you know you've got it tight enough. So I gotta back off a little bit, rotate the pad back, tighten it, and go and tighten it. Once you see it start to rotate just a tiny bit, stop, because that is when your pad is clearly tight enough. Keep going, you're gonna start rotating the pad, or you're going to just straight up completely ruin threads. It will be straight. Now, just gonna be this on this side. I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like afterwards here, but just found it. But sometimes, even when the nut is still loose, the pad will still very much want to rotate. Hold your finger against it. That way it doesn't really want to rotate. There. That is done. This tire's on, ready to be filled with air. I see, I probably won't be able to show that, but just lowering the tripod legs here. That's stubborn. Oh, wait, no. There we go. Got that. Now, you can see that brake pad here. Just push it up against the rim. And see us pretty much nice and center. Yeah, that's what you want it to look like. Just back it off there, and you're good. Now, I'm going to be testing this bike and whatnot later on. Yeah, this inner tube, I've tested it. I sprayed it with soapy water. There were no bubbles, no signs of leaks. Not even the valve or stem itself is leaking. Blew it up with air. The next morning it was flat. Tested it again and again. Still nothing. So yeah. Sometimes that can be the equivalent of just a crap inner tube, a natural leak, or even just being too heavy. But that is pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time in, probably a game if I had to guess. But stay curious, and that is where the seat and everything for the John Deere is. got it off right now until I can get the brake situation done. Got it out, just gotta get it cleaned and greased. Then should be done. Stay curious, everybody.